Hey there, let's do something I haven't done in a long time. Let's talk wrestling. Of course, if if you watched or used to watch wrestling and you follow the news at all, you probably know what we're going to talk about right here. TNA is up for sale. The Carters that bailed out Jeff Jarrett back in the day when it didn't look like TNA was going to be able to go on, bought out the show and kept it going for ages. Now the Carters own Panda Energy, and they're the ones that have been funding TNA for the last little while, along with the channel Viacom's own Spike, who actually brought in and paid for wrestlers that they wanted on the program. Now, I'm not sure if you've watched wrestling in the last 10 or 10 years or so, but since WCW went under, the WWE, by far and large, has been crap. Utter and unmitigated crap. It's been bad storylines, bad wrestling, and the stuff that really makes the WWE look bad, the stuff that was hidden during the Attitude Era because we had different competition, there was more stuff going on, there's certain wrestlers that have personalities that were able to keep things going. Well, with those guys gone, without the competition, the spotlight shines bright on the WWE and the flaws come through. It's not good programming right now. It's really hard to actually watch a full episode. They're trying to get back to a more Attitude Era type thing with the whole redoing the McMahon-Elmsley Corporation era thing again. But again, it's a redux. I'll watch it because Steph is on there every once in a while, but that's about it. Wrestling-wise, it's not that great. If I want to see something WWE wrestling-wise, I'm probably going to play the game because I do not like where they're going with the storylines and that. Some things are okay, but overall, not a fan. Now, with TNA's been around for, it's over a decade now. And at that time, there were a bunch of companies when it started out going into the wrestling business. Some owned by billionaires. Some were started up by older wrestling guys. And the thing was that out of all these companies, TNA was the one that was predicted not to last, not to make it. And the MTV one could make it. The one that had Hogan back then could make it. There was one coming out of Australia. They actually used some guys from TNA, and they were thought to be the big up-and-comers that were going to make it. Well, none of them made it. Only TNA made it, and that's because they had a solid vision for what they wanted to do at the time. Their product was different and unique enough, and they started out right. They did weekly shows, things like $10 pay-per-views type thing, once a week, because they did not have a distribution deal. And that went on like that for years until finally they got a deal with, I think it was Fox Sports Net, and for an hour-long program. And later on when Kurt Angle came into the mix, they ended up getting the 2-hour deal that they have now with Spike TV. And some people, well, everybody got their favorite era in TNA that watch it. And by far and large, we get a lot of the internet wrestling community that doesn't do anything but complain about what TNA does. And it doesn't matter who they change or what guy they put in there. If they put in Hogan, no, we can't have Hogan. And these are the exact same people that will go on, see Hogan and Kurt Angle and those guys and put them in the WWE and cheer them on. The blind. The sheep, as I like to call them when it comes to the wrestling community. The sheep that just follow what they think is most popular at the time. Me, not so much. I like what I like. And TNA by far and large has been the better wrestling company. They've had the better storylines. They have had the better There's no doubt that they've had the better wrestling. That's not even not even a competition there. Kurt Angle was one of the most solid wrestlers of all time. He's a great wrestler. AJ Styles really is phenomenal when it comes to his wrestling. And Kristen Cage otherwise known as Christian in WWE, had his best work as a single star in TNA. Has not been touched in the WWE ever. The closest they've ever came to it was with the Christian Jericho storyline, but even that didn't touch the stuff they did in the WWE. So right now, it's at a crossroads. TNA is up for sale. Some people that are looking into buying it are Bischoff, still smarting from the sale that he lost with WCW. Viacom, the owners of Spike. TNA has been one of their top-rated shows for a long, long time now, and having complete control of it could work well for them. WWE, this is a worst-case scenario. If WWE buys it, they'll cancel it, strip it down, take who they want, and fire the rest. And we'll be screwed. As wrestling fans, we will be screwed. It will be the darkest day. It'll be the end of wrestling for me as a fan, because there's nothing else there for me to watch. Back in the day, I watched WWE and WCW and ECW and some of the other indies and stuff like that. And don't get me into the game and say, well, you can watch Japanese wrestling or you can watch Mexican wrestling. No, but there's no legitimate North American wrestling company out there for me to watch right now, aside from TNA. I watch WWE every once in a while, but I watch it the same way I watch an Ed Wood movie. I know it's going to be bad, and I'll have some fun with it. That's the way it is. That's fact. It's bad programming right now. Even under wrestling standards, it's bad. Not so bad as it used to be, but for the last year or so, we've had it in the as awful as the mid-90s thing, and every chance that you get, they tend to blow. So I don't hold too much faith with WWE right now. They tried the CM Punk thing. They did this whole shoot interview, and he blew it within days after he had won the title and left the company. I mean, they blew that storyline. Totally blew it. I mean, like he had one good moment. The rest of it, the Shield, a little bit better, but still, the people that they chose were good independent wrestlers. But I don't know, they haven't caught on, I don't think, the way that they expected them to catch on. The Shield is good, but at the end of the day, the Shield are thugs at this point. They're not an Evolution, they're not a Four Horsemen, they're not a DX, they're not hell, they're not even a Kings of Wrestling. So you remember that horrible thing in TNA? They're not the band, they're just not. They're thugs, they're a thug group, and that's good for what they are, but long term, how's it going to play out? I'm not sure. Look at what the WWE did when they brought back DX. They brought in some talented wrestlers, and they labeled them the Spirit Squad, and pretty much killed most of their careers. Yeah. The ones that managed to make it afterwards made it with different personalities, but took a long time to get there. Right now, it's not a great time to be a wrestling fan. Or maybe it is, because right now it's an exciting time to see where things are going to go. I personally would love to see the WWE just get some solid competition. I like to see somebody big, but I like to see Turner, somebody about TNA, something that's going to be put a lot of money and a lot of focus into it, so that it's an actual competition instead of just an alternative. I want an actual competition for the WWE. ROH is never going to be a competition for the WWE. It's not that good. It hasn't been that good for a long, long time. And some people still watch it. Whatever floats your bag, but it's not a good show. I normally don't do these opinionated ones. I normally don't do wrestling ones. But this morning, I've been reading a lot on the wrestling news and a lot of what people have been saying. And people have been saying, yeah, maybe the WWE should buy it, and then we'll see all these dream matches. Think back to WCW. You will not see all those dream matches that you want, and the people that you want in dream matches. Don't be so narrow-minded. Don't be one of those sheep that just goes for what's popular right now. And WWE isn't even that popular right now, outside of little tiny internet wrestling forums that are pretty sad, pathetic groups. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. This is a very different one for me. A little bit negative on the negative side, but for me, I would like to see TNA bought up by someone that's going to put a lot of money and a lot of effort and a lot of time into it. And that's not going to be the WWE, because if the WWE buys TNA, I'm done with wrestling. Thanks for watching, guys. It's time for tea.